Hello everyone, this is Dr. Jeffrey Lant. I'm speaking to you from Cambridge, Massachusetts. And I want to welcome you to today's program called Everything with Dr. Lant, where we cover everything on this planet as time allows. There's a lot of ground to cover and a lot of great programs to introduce you to. So today we are talking about something that you just cannot talk enough about. The Boston Marathon bombing, which paralyzed the city of Boston, and the part that I want to bring to your attention is that I was the only journalist in Cambridge who was able to cover the follow-up to the bombing, and this is very important. So I want you to pay very close. I'm in the unique position of enabling you to get an inside look into this terrible, terrible event. So today, as I said, our official format is Boston Marathon bombing. And I want to talk a little bit about this, and then I'm going to go on to another aspect of this incredible story. I was at home about 11 o'clock the evening of the bombing, and a friend of mine called me and said, "Get on the television right away. Something incredible is happening in your neighborhood." Now, we're all used to, when we live in cities, we're all used to sirens of various kinds and whatever, but this was right on top of me. I called a couple of friends. We immediately rendezvoused and started on the most incredible odyssey, because my friends and I, led by me, decided to get absolutely, totally involved in the bombing experience. And I don't mean to throwing bombs on the street. I mean taking care of, working with the police and working with the fire authorities and the National Guard and the Pentagon in Washington. All of these things were involved right in here. Never in my life previously, although I've been a journalist for oh my God, 50 years or more, have I ever had the story come right into the house. And of course, I was kind of a loose cannon in that regard. In fact, at one point in the story, as you'll learn from when you read the book, there was somebody called my name from the police department. "Get out, Dr. Lant, get out now. We know you're in there." I felt like a criminal, but I wanted to stay around as long as possible, and I did. And the result is a book called Boston, April 15th, 2013. Too painful to remember, too important to forget. I want the whole world to read this. If you want to get an insight into terrorism, and not just from the terrorist standpoint, but from the people in the neighborhood, this is the book that you want to read. I priced it at a ludicrous $2.95. I really expect all my readers who care about the whole dimension of terrorism, I want you to really read this book. The details are just down the page a bit. And I want you to know that I don't mince any words. I tell it like it was, and it was scary. I'll tell you one little anecdote. Finally, the police let me out of my apartment so I could do what I regard as my job during a painful incident. And I walked out of my apartment into the main street, which is across the street from Harvard Law School, which struck me as ironic in the extreme. But the National Guard or the Army had placed a tank on the ground in front of my home. And this immediately flashed me with an anecdote. Back in 1956, I was just 9 years old, 8 or 9 years old, and it was the year of the Hungarian Revolution, where the Russians were destroying the Czech Republic with high voltage, whatever they put in tanks. And I got out there and I looked at the tank and the grass, and I started to cry. I couldn't believe that in the United States of America, and in the city of Cambridge, home of Harvard, home of Massachusetts Institute of Technology, home of Harvard Law School, home of Lesley College of Music, and all these fine educational instances, we were being crushed by our own laws. To fight the terrorists, we had to give in to the terrorists to a certain extent. I want you to take this book, Boston, April 15th, Too Painful to Remember, Too Important to Forget. $2.95. If you won't spend that to really learn how this problem works, but some could easily happen to you, as people and all of these children bombings and the high school bombings. It's everywhere around us, and you need to know as much as you can know. And as far as I know, I'm the only person that not only was there, but who wrote it all down as we went. Now, to get this book, you may click on the links below for the article and access to my website, drjeffreylant.com. That's drjeffreylant.com. When you read this book, and don't promise yourself that you're going to do it. This is too worrisome. Every day it seems like we have a new tragedy somewhere in this country. And again, I'm one of the only people that ever saw it from the inside out, because the police and the fire department and the National Guard ordered me to go in my home. Well, my home was in the fire zone, and that's why I was allowed to be in there. Otherwise, they would have kicked me out too. But I learned a great deal, and my credo as a journalist is tell the truth. Tell the truth. Tell the truth, no matter how terrible it seems. And don't try to walk away from it, and it doesn't act you. Everyone who has been through a terrorist experience knows this is for everyone. And so we come this year, as every year, back to Boston, so you can read the book on the Boston Marathon bombing and all the information I've added since. And now what I'd like to have you do, I'd like you to go in, and I want to make sure you get the book. Again, is called Boston, April 15th, 2013. Too Painful to Remember, Too Important to Forget. $2.95. It'll be the best money you make in a year. Now, when you get to the book, I want you to don't forget to click on like, comment, and share this video with your friends and family. Let me say this again. Share. Click on the links below for the article and access to my website, www.drjeffreylant.com. Then get over to comment, share, and like. And if you want more videos like this, click on subscribe. I am committed to putting my expertise together and to squeezing from it the most useful information possible. You will find this book, Boston, April 15th, 2013. You will find it possibly the most important book information that you've read in recent times. Please go to it and do it. And I want to thank Raman, as always, for helping me with this. My camera guy, my videographer. And, you know, I've watched him. He comes from India. They have their problems, but nothing like this. I watched him grow as I talk to the world. Of course, he has to listen to it, and it's a very important thing to do. So now, without further ado, come on into Everything with Dr. Lant. You're going to find about 5 different links in this area, because this is it's a lengthy story. You're getting the whole kit and caboodle for $2.95. It's very important. I forego any quote-unquote profits. There's no profit in this. There's only the feeling that if you don't do it, you will have made a very terrible mistake that will end up hurting people. Don't do nothing. It's the worst thing that you can do. I know. I was there. I wrote it down. I wrote it all for you. Boston, April 15, 2013. Too painful to remember, too important to forget. Thank you.